Hi everyone, I'm your fave nurse B. Today I want to talk about what have I learned so far after being a nurse for almost 4 years really. This is November 2018 and I became a nurse in March 2015. So yeah, it's almost 4 years. So this video might err on the side of negative, but I'm just gonna be as honest with you all as possible and just like actually tell you all like what I have learned. And it's, yeah, let me just get right into it. So if you're new to my channel, thanks for coming, and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I have plenty of videos for nurses, CNA, CMTs, nursing students, anyone who's interested in going into nursing, all that jazz. Your fave nurse B is here for you. If you have any video requests, put them in the comment section. I will get to them, okay? All right, so the number one thing that I learned like from the gate as a nurse is the assessment is key. Now on this channel, I do say that this is important, this is important, this is important, but really assessing your patient, understanding your patient, getting to know them, asking questions, just getting them as much information from them as possible is really important in being able to care for somebody, because I mean, you're not going to be able to care for anybody if you don't know anything about them. If you're not going through their charts, if you're not asking them questions, they're asking family members questions, not looking at their skin and doing their vital signs and communicating with them and building some type of rapport with your patient. It's so important to build a rapport, and it's so important to just get an idea of this person. It doesn't really take that long. I've worked agency recently, and it's been times where I leave like knowing a person's whole life story, being able to look at their skin, talk to them, get an idea of how they're feeling, what's going on, what they need me to do for them in like the matter of minutes. So it's not, I think, well, let me just go into number two, which is that like you can make the time. Now, don't get me wrong. There are situations where you're like, look, like I don't have time for this. Like I cannot sit here and do this. Like I have to get this done. I'm sorry, I can't focus on you right now. Like, yeah, but there's certain situations where you know that your patient really needs something. They have some type of acute distress. They have an issue that you need to take care of on your shift. You need to make time for it. Like I've learned that stop just letting stuff like go to the wayside, because if you're there, you need to do it. Like nursing is 24 hours. You can't just push it off to the next shift. Now there's some situations where you're like, look, I gotta go, this happened, but you have to go, or you can't do everything on your shift because nursing is 24 hours. So it's like kind of like a split of that, like, it's 24 hours. I need to do what I can on my shift, but also if I can't do it, I can't do it. Nursing is 24 hours. Somebody else gonna have to do it. So it's kind of like a weird thing, but you just really have to like go with your gut. And that's the next thing. Like I learned to just have more confidence in my abilities. Of course, with time you get that. Like you're supposed to get that with time. But in becoming more confident, like I've learned to be very humble and to communicate with people if I need help, and to ask questions, and to just kind of pick people's brains like, hey, would you call the doctor because of this? Or what do you think about that? Or what do you think I should do? How do you think I should chart this? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. We're all here together. Like you need to create that like community with the people that you work with, the people that are over you and the people that are under you. And I'm just learning like that no matter what, like if this person is CNA or their manager, like what they have to say is important. It's a lot of times where as nurses you brush off what a CNA says, and really that person is with the patient like all the time, 24/7 pretty much. So it's just like you need to listen to what they have to say. That's why I say be humble, and like don't just like take stuff, I guess, like oh, she is saying that, what she know, like, oh, they all trying to tell us what to do, or why don't she just get my vital signs? Like it's not like that and like in most circumstances it's not like that. So I just learned to be humble, and like I said, to respect everybody in their positions that they're in. Now talking about managers, like I really learned that management pretty much sucks. Like it's very, people say it's hard to find good help. It's hard to find good leaders. Like, it's just people, you would think that because somebody is in a nursing position as a manager and that they're over a facility, or, you know, you would think that the way that they run things is completely different. Especially if there's like a huge group of people. Like, how can so many people come together to manage a facility? And it's like, why do you all let so much stuff go to the wayside? But you know what? I'm not in that position. I don't plan on being in that position. I don't know all the details of the matter, like of situations that happen when, why didn't you do this? Why did y'all let this go by? Like, I don't know all that. I don't know the stress. I don't know what their bosses are telling them. I don't know. But just looking at it, I'm just like, it could be so much better. You know, healthcare could be so much better. And that's another thing I learned, that healthcare sucks too. Like, the healthcare system, whoo, is so freaking flawed. Like, especially in geriatric care, because it's just like they're old, like, let's let them just die. You know, that's what it pretty much comes down to. Like, dignity and some type of sense of quality of life is lacking in the geriatric sphere of healthcare. Now, granted, I've only worked in that area, but I've talked to other people, like, I do research, like, and just from what I see, it just seems like geriatric care is just really flawed. And I know that it's better than from how it was before. Like, I was told that it used to be you would go like to debtor's prison. If you got old and you didn't have anywhere to go, nobody take care of you, went to debtor's prison, some crap like that. And so I've heard that it's gotten a lot better, and that nursing homes have become way more, you know, efficient in being able to do labs at nursing homes and IVs and things like that. So it has become more skilled, but I feel like that trajectory of things becoming more skilled was not based off giving quality health care. I feel like it was more based off of creating more income, which at the end of the day, this is a business, you know, but it's just like those things need to go hand in hand, and really quality healthcare needs to go before making money, because I just feel like if you focus on quality, the money will come, you know. But I understand there's a lot of problems, a lot of issues. You have to make money, bottom line. It just, yeah, it puts me in a position of like really not wanting to be a nurse anymore. I'm gonna be honest. But I know that there's more out there. I know there's more for me to do in this field. It might not just be bedside care. I have plenty of plans and ideas in my mind of where my career is going, and I can do a video about that. But at this point in time, I'm just like in that, I don't mind talking about where I want to go, but it's just like, I'm just in it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to do it right now. Like, I don't feel like really going into detail about it. I just want to make it happen and show it to you all. And that's going to take time, of course. But like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us out. Next thing that I learned is that you definitely have to be an advocate for your patient, and especially with geriatrics, because a lot of times patients, they don't have any family, they don't have any kids, no one comes to see them, and so those patients, they really just kind of become like abandoned basically. And it's just like, if you as a nurse, if you're not stepping up and letting people know, hey, my patient needs this, my patient needs that, this patient is not feeling well because of this, when you look at their medications, if you're not doing that, nobody else is going to do it. Typically, if someone has a family member that's visiting regularly, they're going to ask questions. They're going to look at their skin. They're going to be like, hey, did the doctor do this? Did the doctor do that? And it's going to be like that person is always checking to make sure that you're doing your job. And unfortunately, like, oh, somebody shouldn't be telling us to do our job. But there's so many things that get missed. I mean, I've told you all, it's been situations where I've had 50 to 60 patients by myself on a day shift. So there's going to be some things that are going to be missed. That's just how it is. But if a patient doesn't have that, you have to advocate for it. Or even if your patient does have that, some patients have family members who are extremely, you know, assertive and kind of pushy, and they want this and the third, and the patient doesn't want that. Or you as a nurse, you're thinking about, okay, what the quality of life is for my patient. Of course, you want to respect that family because this is their loved one, but you do need to step in and start trying to educate that family member and give them support, but also show them, like, you know, if we keep your mom or dad at CPR, do you understand what that means? We're going to break their ribs. They're going to be in here probably 20 minutes doing this, and they might go to the hospital, come back from the hospital, they might be on tube feeding, they might have a trach, they might have all these different things, and they might not be the same person that they left here as. And who knows how long they're going to live like that. And we have to think about quality of life, and also if they're going to be comfortable, and if you're going to be comfortable with that as well. So there's things that you have to do. And if I've learned, going back to being humble, I'm not always in a position to be able to talk to a family member about things like that, like end of life care and like decision making, or like certain things they want to do with their care. And I've learned to freaking like, hey, let me call the nurse practitioners, have them come over here and talk to somebody, like talk to them. Let me call social services and have them talk to them. Like, I've learned to use my resources, because social services, therapy, if you have nurse practitioners in your facility, your administrator, all of these people, managers, all of these people are your resources. You as a nurse, you don't have to take on everything. There's, like I said, there's like a social worker is way better at communicating, end of life care with a family member than I am. You would think that a nurse would be better at it, but social workers, they have to go through with the patient again, as I did, ask them what their code status is. They have to do it again too, and they have to explain to them as well. And it's just like I don't know, something about, they just know it, especially if they've been doing it longer than me. Like, they just know how to communicate better with the family about that, and they seem to have more time. Not to say that they're not busy, but they have more time. And I just, sometimes as a nurse, you just don't have the time to sit and talk to somebody for 20 minutes about whether or not they want their mom or dad to have CPR, and you're kind of going back and forth with them about it. Unfortunately, you might just need to freaking delegate that to somebody else who is better at it. And then of course they can come to you with it again as a healthcare professional to be able to reiterate anything or clarify anything. So it's just, you have to learn to just use what you got around you. Okay, that's what I have learned. Something else I learned, and you all have seen it in one of my past videos, is that burnout is real. Picking up a crazy amount of shifts and allowing yourself and your body and your mind to just kind of be a slave to a job. Yes, you're getting paid, but you're a slave to this job. Allowing yourself to be in that position is really taxing, not just on your body, not just on your mind, but really on your spirit, and like where you are. It's just, yeah, this is a career. Yes, I enjoy doing what I do, but I'm still an individual. I still have other things that I'm working on for me, that's not just nursing. And it's just like, when you put all of it into going to a job and giving them, your time for money, it's just like, the burnout is real, especially if you're not being shown any type of recognition. If you aren't seeing the results of the work that you put in. You did all this work, calling the doctor, getting orders, doing all this and the third, and then nobody really did anything about it. Your patient still had to go to the hospital. It's just like, dang, I put all that work into it, and y'all didn't even follow up behind me, and now my patient is at the hospital. We're trying to prevent that from happening. Or, you're dealing with people under you like CNAs, and it's just a mess. Your managers are telling you, you all need to start writing up the CNAs, but then when you write up the CNAs don't have any type of, there's nothing that comes from it. Or, you try to tell adults how to do their job, and it's just like, just do it, like, let's just work together. We got to get this done, ready to go, girl. Like, let's just get it done. And it's just like, it's like a fight sometimes going to work as a nurse, especially in the facility I work in. It's a big facility. It's a lot going on. And I've just learned, like, look, I think, did I talk about it on this channel or the other channel? I can't remember, but I just know that on my other channel, a reason why I cut my locks, it's weird, but like, I just realized, like, I'm smart, I'm competent, like, I am very, very, like, driven individual, and the time and energy that I put into working for a facility, if I could just put, 20 more hours into myself, then there's so much more that I can accomplish for myself, for my spirit, for my, like, my family, instead of investing in a company that really could care less about me. At the end of the day, it's still a business. Even though being a nurse is a career, it's a great career, there's a lot of benefits, things like that, and I really enjoy it, still working for somebody is not for me. That's what I've learned. Like, I am a boss, okay? Like, I'm not an employee. So I realized that, and I've grown into that, and I'm just at that point where I'm like, okay, when am I gonna move to that next level? And so that's what I'm, like, working on right now, you all. Like, I'm working on it. And like I said, everything takes time. But now that I have it in my mind, like, this is not for me working for somebody, or at least not on this level. At this time, like, it's not for me. Of course, I want to become an ER nurse. I want to do way more in healthcare and learn a whole lot more. But it's just, I have to actually start putting the work into doing my own thing as well. So that's what I've learned, you all. Let me know what you think about it. If you've been a nurse, you know, for a while, 6 months to a year or plus, what have you learned in your nursing career? If you're in nursing school, like, are you surprised by anything I said? What do you think? Like I said, I didn't want to be too negative or whatever. I never want to discourage anybody. Like, I do believe that healthcare and nursing, this field is something that I'm definitely meant to do. But like I said, it might not necessarily be on this minute of a scale. Like, I see myself doing way more. But we gotta have good charge nurses. We gotta have good nurses in general. But I just see myself just doing more right now with my life. And also in this field, like, it's just too much going on for me to just be working and allowing it to happen. Like, no, I got too much to offer. Okay. So that's where I'm at, and thank you all for watching. If you're interested in joining a nursing community, go ahead and join the Your Fave Nurse B Facebook group. It's really encouraging, really helpful. There's like a lot of good mixture of individuals on there. Also, go follow me on my Instagram page, which is Your Fave Nurse B #1. If you're interested in my life as a mom or going through my second pregnancy, all that good stuff, my lifestyle channel, go check that out. Stay forever true. All right, you all, thanks for watching. Peace.